There she is, sitting there waiting very patiently for me. Sarah Ann has been behaving herself well, sitting on a mooring at Lindisfarne in between her first shakeout cruise and the beginning of the Australian Wooden Boat Festival, which turned out to be her second shakeout cruise. Don't mind being on camera.
Take my better side.
I get 20,000 viewers.
Hey?
You'll get 20,000 admirers.
Oh, very good. That's all right.
Balmera is an excellent example of a Josh Muir working boat that's been finally restored by Neil Houston. She's on her way down to Constitution Dock. This is Neil's boat shed, and we're tied up. Balmera's just headed across to Sullivan's Cove. So if the weather turns out the way they say it's going to be a magnificent day. Should guarantee the entire fleet a broad reach in what will gust up to 20 knots. I'm glad I came over here because looking back at Sarah Ann, she's got a bit of ornamentation that I must remove. Okay, so despite the best plans of mice and men, I managed to catch the mooring line around the propeller on the way out. This is a reenactment. There we go, all done.
Jeez, that was quick.
I'm very efficient. I couldn't resist showing you this innovative approach to repainting the mast by a team of expert builders. It wasn't long before we merged with the fleet of wooden boats, some 200 strong, coming up the river. I've heard it said that if you're over the age of 50 you shouldn't go forward of the mast. Well, we're both over the age of 50, so guess who got that job? How are you? What started out as a nice brisk sail turned into a bit of a lull for a while, and then turned into a bit too brisk given that there were so many boats competing for space on the water. Thanks for the nice snapshots of Sarah Ann under full sail. It's pretty rare that I get a picture of her out there doing her thing. So, trouble is I can't remember who it was that sent them to me, but thanks anyway. Once the wind got up, pretty much all 200 boats all headed for Constitution Dock all at the same time. We were all milling around waiting for our opportunity to get into the dock in what had become an absolute washing machine. With our engine cutting out from time to time, we decided to head over to the Derwent Sailing Squadron for a beer. And so, as it turned out, it became much later in the day when we eventually settled into our little spot nestled between what can only be described as sailing royalty. It's not often you get a chance to feature in one of Leo's videos from Tally-Ho. It seems that after a couple of hours on the water, everybody's got some catching up to do with on calls and messages. And not the least of these was Matt from Small Craft Tasmania. Just moments earlier, he was seen photobombing my shot of the fiddle player. It was wonderful to have the ladies able to visit us for the festival. One of the highlights of the festival is the appearance of a fleet of Derwent class boats. I'm going to talk about them more in a later video which I took down at the School of Wooden Boat Building on the Huon River. In April of 1770, the original Endeavour became the first European ship to reach the east coast of Australia, with Cook going ashore at what is now known as Botany Bay. Endeavour then sailed north along the Australian coast, where she narrowly avoided disaster after running aground on the Great Barrier Reef. Cook had to throw her guns overboard to lighten her up. Now, back in the present age, it was a bit lumpy inside the attenuator wall. So I decided that Sarah Ann was just bumping up and down a bit too much to have a comfortable night's sleep, so I ducked across to the ladies' accommodation for the night. Minuscule, with its unique appeal, became quite a magnet for walkers by. Phil Sackman's craftsmanship and attention to detail is absolutely second to none. And it turned out he's still using salvaged parts from photocopiers which he sourced from my brother's business in Devonport. Samson and the boys from Port Signet have turned up again in Rebecca, a 100-year-old cooter boat that they helped restore. It seems that this beautiful little punt just wants to get free. Let me go, let me go. If you've watched this video right through, you've helped me make more videos. If you've followed me on Patreon, even more so thank you. And if you like this video and subscribe to the channel, you'll help to inspire me to make the next couple of videos coming up, where I visit the southern part of the D'Entrecasteaux Channel and then, defeated by the weather, end up spending 5 days up at St Helens on Georges Bay. I also took the opportunity between trips to take to my oversized propeller with my angle grinder, with a very surprising outcome.